had to try really hard to keep up with her because, this also shows that Tyrese is a really good actor too. Because I think people forget just how good of an actor Tyrese is because he's in those Fast and Furious movies. But Tyrese can act when he wants to.
I felt like this was one of his stronger roles, and
Definitely.
like you said, she brings out the best in a lot of people, dude. When she's in the frame,
when Roger's in the frame, like you better be acting your A game.
Exactly, you have to bring.
If you're not, she's gonna chew you alive.
Exactly, she's gonna outshine you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah.
But at least you're gonna be trying.
Yeah.
You work in Empire too, dude.
I know, right?
All dramatic.
And some of the direction was as you say, very very 90s, like the aesthetic and everything.
Yeah.
It felt like this was a film that Singleton shot in the 90s and released Boys in the Hood first, and then that came out, and he's like, okay, well, I got this other movie that I did.
It's like a subchapter, like a different strain of the Matrix.
But I give it like a this might be a little bit low, but I give it like a 6.5.
Nice.
It's not my favorite Singleton movie. That's still Boys in the Hood and Poetic Justice and Four Brothers. I think those three are his best movies. But like if you're a big Singleton fan and you haven't seen this movie, I check it out because I feel like a lot of people don't realize that.
I feel like it's overlooked.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't realize that this was by John Singleton. As you say, it gets overlooked. Like it's only known in like our kind of community,
our
generation.
Our
Kids from the 90s only know about this. But I don't think if you go to like a Gen Z, or they're gonna be like, "What's Baby Boy?" They're gonna be like, "I don't know what that is." What is a TV show on Nickelodeon?
Yeah, exactly. I always felt like it was overlooked, and I hate to say it, I felt like the reason why it was because of the title of the movie and just associating, well, who's in this movie?
Yeah, Tyrese Gibson,
Tyrese and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel when people hear about this, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that before." And they just kind of overlook it without even getting the whole story or actually paying attention to it. They just see it as it's one of Tyrese's first films. You know, more than it's a good movie, more than anything. But I get what you're saying, man. I understand where you're coming from with the melodramatic acting or overreacting overdoing, but
it's so weird because like if I hadn't seen Boys in the Hood, I would have thought that this was John Singleton's first movie. I'm like, okay, this is where he's making all sort of like the rookie mistakes, and then if I saw Boys in the Hood, I'd be like, oh, this must have been his next movie where he sort of found his footing and stuff. But it's weird how it's the reverse.
The other, was Boys in the Hood one of his first movies?
Boys in the Hood was his directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, come out the gate with Boys in the Hood. Jesus, like you're set for life. I mean, like he's set for life. Yeah.
You can't.
Ice Cube is so good in that movie. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a reason why John Singleton is John Singleton.
Yeah, there's a reason why he's still around, because when he can get off his ass and make a good movie, he gets up off his ass and makes a good movie. Like Four Brothers is great.
Yeah, Four Brothers was a good movie, dude.
It's great.
Very detailed, very
I didn't even know that was
heartfelt.
Yeah, that's him. Four Brothers is him. Too Fast, Too Furious is him too.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Yeah. Too Fast, Too Furious is him.
That's one of them. I actually like that one. I thought that
I feel like people hate on that movie for reasons beyond.
The first two were okay. Like they set the tone, but then how many? There's like 9 now. I saw the preview.
I don't know, dude. They lost
8
me
now. Yeah, and
Hobbs and Shaw. Like 11
previews for that.
Fuck it.
They come out
go to 11
next year.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Rock fan, but I can deal with him.
Oh yeah, that little thing they're doing, the spin-off thing.
I think The Rock's overrated.
Yeah, true. Probably. Most likely.
I liked him as a wrestler.
Yeah,
I like fucking sick as a wrestler.
Yeah, I think I like him as a wrestler better than an actor.
You know, they want him to fucking run for president.
And be Black Adam, dude. You think he'll be a good Black Adam, dude?
That's where we're at as a nation.
With his cheesy ass? I don't know.
President.
We'll see what's up.
He's like, oh, I might get into politics. Like, no, you're not. You better not, anyway. Fucking
Arnold did it. Arnold did
That's
it, dude.
true.
And that was a Terminator.
Right? Do you think that Dwayne The Rock Johnson is going to... I don't know. But, like...
He wants to be Black Adam, dude. He's going for...
Like, Schwarzenegger is an anomaly. Like, he's a guy from a foreign country, comes over, becomes the biggest star in the 80s, and then becomes governor. Yep. You know what I mean? Like, The Rock's not going to touch that.
Okay.
Like, The Rock's not going to touch that. If he does, I will be shocked.
Insert.
If he gets elected in office, I will be shocked as a motherfucker.
Chill out, dickwad.
That would be a dark day for America.
Chill out, dickwad.
That would be a dark day.
You can't just go killing people. I just hope this nation wakes up and doesn't elect or elects an actual politician instead of a fucking B-list celebrity.
Someone else.
They're doing the real Team America, huh? They're really trying to go for that right now.
Film actors,
please, everybody listening to this,
listen, please.
Do us all a favor.
I might actually vote this time.
Please,
this might save the problem.
Yeah, man. See, you're
look at my watch.
He told, come on, man. I told everybody. I told all my buddies, and he was like, "I don't vote.
I don't vote, man. I didn't vote."
And look what fucking happened.
I know, right? We're in the shitter, man.
It's Atlas' fault. Admiral Downer, because he didn't vote.
Downer.
But on that note, I have an important question for all of you.
Okay, hit me.
So at the end of the film, right? Mm-hmm. The film is concluded with a murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Jody gets away with it.
Yeah.
He's kind of rewarded with kind of the perfect life, or he kind of is able to get out of the hood based on that murder. So, with what you know now and how you watch the movie,
right?
What do you guys think that sends a mixed message, or do you agree with that ending, or do you think
him getting away with murder,
or do you think that it's heavy-handed?
I don't think it's heavy. I think if you take away that message as literal, I think you're reading way too much into it. Well, I think it's meant to be like metaphorically, as like he has to kill the thing that's holding him back, or something like that.
I was gonna get into that too. Do you want to go?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the way John saw it. He saw this as Baby Boy is a representation, obviously, of a group of people, and then within that group of people, you might have a couple of those that actually shot and killed somebody and got away with it, and he's letting you know that this exact scenario could have happened, and it probably has happened amongst this group of people that he's trying to represent in this movie. A prime example is Ving Rhames' character.
Okay,
he knows exactly, without him even saying anything, he knows exactly what's happening. You got this full freaking out, this hard ass motherfucker that's trying to fight me, but yet you see him in this room crying with the gun in his hand. He knows something happened. He knows something's going on, so he knows where he's coming from. And John's letting you know at the end of that movie, it's kind of like, everything's working out, but it doesn't always work out, and it doesn't. Not everybody kills somebody, but there is people out there that have done that and lived through that and prevailed or changed their life around, gave themselves to Jesus and got baptized and was forgiven for their sins, or found their family was more important than this gang, and I felt he made Snoop Dogg represent that factor of that part of the game. He was the exact representation of what was bad. He just got out of jail. He had his homies. He was part of the gang. He was out to kill him, and in that dream sequence where he shot at him, he thought he killed him. He's like, I thought I was dead. I thought I was dead. He was waking up from what the fuck was really happening, saying, hey, this motherfucker's trying to kill me. In a literal sense, this life, this gang, this ghetto, this way of life is trying to kill me. And he was.
So that was his epiphany. The drive-by.
That was his moment of like, hey, I gotta.
I have to fix my shit.
Up. I can't be Baby Boy no more. I gotta man. This motherfucker's trying to kill me.
In my point of view, like I'm gonna add up to is like, you gotta see through like what's his name, Sweet Pea. You gotta see through his motherfucking point of view, dude. He said he got rid of everything immediately, and look what happened. It just it turned into a beautiful fucking story, dude. Like, you know, and we don't. Does it go much about him after this? Like, that's why I want to know.
Sweet Pea action, and
they should make a fucking movie about it, a spinoff.
But like that also shows you like the close bond that like Sweet Pea has with him.
Yeah, it's so good. Like, he just did it for his homie.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Okay. The fact that Sweet Pea, played by Leslie Odom, I think he's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s younger brother, I think.
Omar?
Omar
Gooding?
Yeah.
Omar Gooding.
The fact that he killed Snoop Dogg as character, it shows like the level of bond that he has with Tyrese Gibson, and like the brotherhood that he has with his character, and the fact that he's willing to kill something that's fucking up Tyrese's life for him. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, that shows like a real, hard edge bond. You know?
Did it for no money. Yeah, did it for friendship, dude. Like,
never brings it up again. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Like, it's a breath that you don't have to breathe again. Like, this guy's sweating me, dude. Like, man.
It's like John Singleton took that formula of that brotherhood, and no matter what, he was going to kill and he was going to help his brother get through this. Right. And that formula is seen within a lot of movies.
He was funny doing it.
He was a live wire. Yeah. He was ready. Yeah. He didn't have no remorse, no second thought. Yeah. He was like, kill that fool. And he couldn't, because he saw himself in Snoop Dogg, and he was like, you're not going to do it? Boom. He did it. No question, nothing, because he was a representation.
He closed his heart probably to the thoughts of those ideas. He had life figured out.
Yeah. He was like, I'm done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's either killed or be killed. And there's always that one person that's like that, and he was represented as
those people that do that.
Yeah, he's firecracker.
Because you got to think about it too. Like if they hadn't killed him, I mean, the movie would have gone like a different way. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe another hour.
Probably
Who knows?
Wouldn't it be? The movie might have gone a menace to a society. Of like killing off the main character.
It could have just been a war or something.
Yeah, it could have just been like an all-out war and shit like that. So
and it just gives you a taste of the times of that during that era of living. It was just killed or be killed out there, and it's just confusion and fucking fatherless kids killing each other, having kids, raising kids. So it's a really good reflection and adaptation of that time, dude. Of maybe the 80s.
Who's the chick that plays the mom?
It should have been Angela Bassett.
Whoever the chick is, she's hot.
Yeah. The mom?
Yeah.
She's older now, really.
Also, it didn't look like they were mother and son.
Yeah, mother and son.
That looked like some side chick that he had. Like, that wasn't like she didn't look like
I could buy that because
I couldn't.
She had him at 16.
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Tyrese looks young anyway, too. Like, I don't know.
But time out.
Like, all the chicks in this film are like, oh my god.
He had an older brother that he said did the same shit before. When Ving Rhames came, she had a
before Ving.
The whole thing.
You can tell that's why he feels so threatened, because he thinks that's going to happen to him,
and he saw how that was happening. So I mean,
and then like that death scene is sort of a payoff to him mentioning how his brother died.
That's why I kind of feel for the mom too. I understand where seeing that too is because she sees. She has to have a life as well, but at the same time, these are her children, and for him to get so hurt by it, and for hey, your own flesh and blood, you're choosing someone else, some motherfucker you never even met before, over your own son. I understood that, but also the mom. I felt like at that time she was letting go of the baby boy, saying you got to do stuff on your own. You got to be your own person. And she was at that point just looking out for herself. Yeah, and that's why he kind of was like, well, what about me? Like, who's gonna take care of me, or who's I felt like
it just all comes back to him having that huge attachment to his mom, and he doesn't want to share her with anybody.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's so funny. I just realized that all of the women that Baby are involved with, they honestly don't need him. Like
in a certain way, they wouldn't need him. Yeah,
like Taraji P doesn't really need him outside of he's the father of her son. But like aside from that, she has her own job. She pays for her own house and everything. She doesn't need him. And then his other baby mama lives with her mom, Peanut, and she's self-sufficient by herself.
She doesn't even want him there.
She doesn't have to pay rent. She has her daughter with her all the time.
It's almost just sexual